What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 89. We're starting today's just off by officially changing the position of Piscina. Obviously we signed him in the last episode just for squad depth. As we know, Guimaraes and McKennie still down with those broken toes. Ricky is now coming back to full fitness and ready to play once again, but you know, if last season with Bayern taught me anything, it's that you need a strong squad if you're going to go far in multiple competitions. And speaking of which, heading to the first game of today's episode here, well, I was not looking forward to this. I was absolutely bricking it. We know that there is no cup objective with Juventus, so that's quite lucky. Heading into this season that the board don't consider the Coppa Italia worthy of giving us an objective. But let's be totally honest here, the board would really, in real life, expect us to win this with the squad we've got and the money we spent. Heading into the game though, well, we've only lost twice at home in the league this season. The last game was one of those losses in that 3-2 defeat at home to Inter, and the other one was our first domestic defeat this season, coming at the hands of our cross-city rivals Torino, and that is who we face for the first game today. Coppa Italia, last 16, taking on Torino. On the back of that loss to Inter Milan, I was nervous heading to this game. Really tough run of form for Juventus. Only 2 wins in, I believe, our last 5 games, or possibly 6 games. Heading into this one, I was pretty nervous. 10 minutes in, we were currently leading by a goal, courtesy of Moise Kean. But Torino found their leveller through you-know-who. Brennan Johnson, who scored against me in that loss in the league. He ran the show in that game and turned from hero to villain. And 10 minutes later, another player that scored in that defeat, Facundo Farias, makes it 2-1. And we'd have to come from behind to avoid defeat. 25 minutes in to a chaotic start, we would find our leveller in a topsy-turvy opening half an hour. Moise Kean bags his brace and makes it 2-2. And I was thinking, right, if we can tighten up, I definitely feel we'll get more goals in this, because Torino's backline is looking pretty shaky. Unfortunately, ours was looking even shakier. 4 minutes after we found our leveller, Sadiq heads in from close range after a brilliant floated Brennan Johnson cross. Torino restored a lead and we were 3-2 down, and with 7 minutes to go before the break, that 3-pronged attack of Sadiq, Farias and the hero turned villain Brennan Johnson was unstoppable. The Nottingham-born Welsh international makes it Juventus 2, Torino 4, and every single time they came forward, they got a goal. Singo down the right, one of the great high potential young wide midfield / wing back players in this game, makes it 5-2 after he rolls across to Sadiq, who turns in from close range. We are down by 3 goals at the break and needing a miracle to avoid a humiliating exit. Bove got 1 of those, but unfortunately I just kept on getting breached in the back line and I could not stop Torino. Facundo Farias with the step overs of depth gets around the last man, drills it in, makes it Juve 3, Torino 6, and then does this. I mean, I respect this shit housery, I'm not going to lie. Final score, Juventus 3, Torino 6. And a brace for that 3-headed monster. So, at the start of the season, I was talking about how we've got the best attacking trio in the land, with Vlahovic spearheading, Bergwijn on the right, and Chiesa on the left. Little did I know, not even in a different city in this country, there's another team with a better trio. Sadiq, Farias, and hero to villain, Brennan Johnson. Juve 3, Torino 6 on the cup in the last 16. And for the second straight year, I suffer an embarrassing early exit at home when we were considered favourites to win the cup. Back-to-back losses, All of our defeats this year, all 4 have came at home, and 2 have been at the hands of our cross-city rivals, Torino. So after the game, lots of speculation, lots of pressure. Media thinking, is Doxy boy a fraud? Yes, obviously. Is he out of his depth? Quite possibly. Is he going to get the sack? Well, I decided to make a big gamble. Bid came in for Ronald Araujo and a negotiated £150 million, and he is off to RB Leipzig. 90 rated, 28 years old, one of the best centre-halves at this point in the save, and he has gone to the Bundesliga. Leipzig matched the counter offer, £150 million, and he has gone. So, following game, Venezia away in Venice. Fashion FC taking them on, back-to-back losses, and worrying to death that this was going to be the start of the capitulation after selling Araujo as well. A big, big gamble as Ronald goes to RB Leipzig. Following game should be a banker. Venezia away from home. From kickoff, get a goal, and we trail. 3.5 minutes in, and Juventus are falling apart, and I say it every single season. There will always come a point in the season where you go into poor form. It is unavoidable. We trail by a goal. We're out of the cup. And as things stand, we are going to lose our footing, if you will, in the title race, because we've already lost our lead as the league leaders. Venezia go in front by a goal. Right now, struggling down the bottom of the table. We haven't lost away from home all season long. I think if this happens, we are in absolutely deep, deep trouble. 23 minutes in and we're still down by a goal. We responded nicely after trailing, but we couldn't find that leveller. Venezia, all hands on deck, kept themselves still leading by 1, clearing the ball off the line, and we still trailed by a goal. And I was thinking, it's just going to be one of those days. It's just going to be one of those days where everything I do isn't good enough. As Bergwijn smacks the top of the crossbar and we're still down by a goal. We certainly didn't need the technology for this goal line clearance, similar to the Japan-Spain goal that we saw in the World Cup just a few days ago. It certainly wasn't that close. I knew for sure that hadn't crossed the line, but, well, 28 minutes in from the goal kick, sometimes when you need a bit of luck, you'll get it. Oh, thank God for that. Venezia trying to pass out from the back. Vlahovic puts the pressure on, and I'll be totally honest here, this was as cool as you like. On the swivel, the 180 first time chip. It's a howler, don't get me wrong, but I think we deserved a little bit of luck after rattling the woodwork, seeing the ball cleared off the line, still trailing by a goal, and now we find our level. Vlahovic capitalises on the poor mistake, and Venezia surrender their, I'll be honest here, undeserved lead. I was the better team in the first half, and I was unlucky not to be winning, but now we were tied. So 1-1, and I thought second half's going to be big here. Second half is going to be big, because you know that based on the way this game is going, you know it seems like it's going to be one of those FIFA games where it will go one of two ways. Either you get yourself in front and you'll run away with it, or the opponents will scrape a last-minute deflected own goal winner or whatever, and despite taking 46 shots, you'll only score 1, and despite them taking 2, they'll score 2. So the second half and the start of the second half is going to be big. I needed to get myself back in front for the first time in the game, and I would. Steven Bergwijn puts it in front after Chiesa fired wide, and whilst he missed a great chance soon after the restart, he'd take this one. Yep, Federico Chiesa is our free-headed monster up top. All get a goal each. A little bit lucky for the goal there, but again, I think we deserve it. 3-1 Juve, and after a really, really frustrating opening half an hour, we bounced back in the best possible way. Actions, not words. I did my post-match little interview heading on the back of that Torino loss there, but it's not words that sort things out, it's actions. We exactly performed how we needed to against Venezia in the second half. Yet we tied at the break after Vlahovic's lovely spin goal, and then as Ribeiro off the bench made it 4-1 in stoppage time, that would do it. Final score, Venezia 1, Juve 4, and how I lost this game. Look at the stats! How I lost this game. I would have been absolutely fuming, and my controller being chucked out the window. Thankfully, 4-1 the final score, back to winning ways, and whilst it doesn't paper over the cracks fully, listen, I'm going to take it because Lord knows I needed it. That sees us jump up to second. We cut the gap to Inter to a point at the top of the table. But Roma are only 2 points behind and Milan are only 5 behind the Inter Milan as well. It is still an incredibly tight title race in this Serie A. What comes next? Transfer deadline day. And don't forget, on the back of selling Araujo, £150 million to spend. It's time for a big new signing on transfer deadline day. But that will end today's episode of Career Mode, guys. Big thank you for watching. Hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, then please do drop a like. Most of you all have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for transfer deadline day with £150 million to spend very soon.